Put a 1 in the chat. I didn't plan on playing this one, but I just, we got to show some love, and I got to see this. So put a 1 in the chat if you can see in here. Let's get to it.
Because you've never actually been a reporter. That's my point.
Ooh, woo, burn. You got me. You go, girlfriend. I didn't take the bait. I didn't respond to him. But the facts of the matter are, I too also have a degree in journalism. In fact, I have more degrees than Piers Morgan does. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism and in English, and he just has one in journalism. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, which is why I didn't say it. But it is funny. He's a reporter.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
My family didn't have the money to send me to college, so I took out a ton of loans, student loans, Sallie Mae loans, and then don't quote me on the year, but I think it was 2010, Sallie Mae had a big collapse, and they said you can't go back for your senior year because we can no longer fund you to go back for your senior year. So I dropped out temporarily, and then when I had my own money and paid off my student loans, which was something like $150,000 in student loans, which is absurd to me. Such a predatory system. You're literally preying on poor people. It's disgusting. That's what.
Oh no, rich girl talking about poor people problems. Candace, have you set up a scholarship to help kids go back to school? She's a horrible philanthropist. She does nothing to help anybody. Does she even give away prizes or awards or anything on her show? No, got it.
Used is all about. Once I paid down my student loans, I re-enrolled to finish my last year. And so I have 2 degrees, actually.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
My family didn't have the money to send me to college, so I took out a ton of loans, student loans, Sallie Mae loans, dropped out temporarily. And then when I had my own money and paid off my student loans, which was something like $150,000 in student loans, which is absurd to me, dropped out temporarily. And then when I had my own money and paid off my student loans, which was something like $150,000 in student loans, which is absurd to me. Once I paid down my student loans, I re-enrolled to finish my last year. And so I have 2 degrees, actually.
Oh, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
And so I have 2 degrees, actually. And so I have 2 degrees, actually.
Halfway.
Here's the difference between me and you. I've actually been a reporter for many, many years. You have. So when you say you report on these things, I can tell you no journalist who's an actual reporter would read a legal states as fast. That's not reporting on a lawsuit. That is stating your own personal opinion. And if you don't know the difference, it's because you're not a reporter.
Oh,
I am.
Well, now we've arrived.
Oh, yes. Oh, can we hear that again? You're not a reporter. You're not, Candace. You're not a reporter, girl. Whatever you think you are, you're bad at this, heifer. You're bad at this. God, you're so bad at this. It's not even funny.
Your own personal opinion. And if you don't know the difference, it's because you're not a reporter. I am.
Well, now we've arrived at your professionality.
Professionality. Professionality. Is that a word? Candace, you forced me to have to Google definitions of terms that I didn't think I would have to look up. Professionality. I'll look that up.
I guess Piers, tell me more. What school did you go to? Tell me more.
I went to Harlow Journalism College in Essex in England.
Well, then we better listen to you guys. You heard him. We got to trust the experts. And Piers has been a reporter, and he went to a journalistic law school. And therefore, whatever conclusions he makes are the professional and the correct ones. And you should definitely listen to Piers Morgan.
I do know the difference between reporting on a lawsuit, where you're one removed from the contents of a lawsuit, and stating something as fact. But I don't think you do, because you've never actually been a reporter. That's my point.
Ooh, burn. You got me. You go, girlfriend.
Oh my God.
Girlfriend did get me. I'm going to start talking to you guys like that. You're not a reporter. Yes, you're not a reporter.
Candace, you're not a reporter. You're not a journalist. You're certainly not an investigator. And you and the other impersonators of investigators should be investigated, definitely, by real investigators and charged if you're going to keep going at this rate. And the damage you're causing by impersonating an actual investigator can definitely get you sued. You can be held liable for that.
Watching this show, you're not a reporter. But do you know about anything? You're not a reporter. Have you lived? Doesn't matter. I'm a reporter. I know things. I know how to read the lawsuits and what to do with them. And this, my friends, is why the mainstream media has fallen apart. Constantly speaking down to people, making assumptions about people, talking about, I went to Harlow College and I've got a degree in journalism. I don't know, but I know. You know? I don't know, but I know. Yeah, Piers. Well, as a reporter, you should know that you probably shouldn't get all of your information from Wikipedia. I didn't take the bait. I didn't respond to him. But the facts of the matter are, I too also have a degree in journalism. In fact, I have more degrees than Piers Morgan does.
How, Sway?
I have a bachelor's degree in journalism and in English, and he just has one in journalism. But I don't like little lies. When there is one lie, there's 20. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, which is why I didn't say it. But it is funny. He's a reporter.
How does it not matter? Y'all see this here? Y'all see this here? Candace, why is it that when people are researching this on your education, it's still coming up that you did not get a degree? Education. She began studying journalism at the University of Rhode Island, but left before completing her degree in her junior year. It never said you went back to school. Why is it still saying that, Candace? Why is it still saying that? I'm just saying.
There's 20. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, which is why I didn't say it. But it is funny. He's a reporter.
Unbelievable. She seemed to be so mad about that. Oh, more information. Yeah, no one got this off of this is not off of Wikipedia. Y'all see here? Let's see. He's just got some information up that he's letting play. She attended the University of Rhode Island and graduated. I don't know where you get this from. And graduated with, y'all see at the bottom? With a double, hold on. With a double bachelor's in English and journalism. Y'all see that at the bottom? What website is this from? Travels from Nashville, Tennessee. Did she pay someone to say this? A double bachelor's degree, a double bachelor's in English and in journalism. Oh my God. Oh man. This is why I went to the school and just got an email from the school. Candace, why does this have to be so confusing? Why can't you just show your degrees?
I told you guys this before, and I'm going to tell you again in case you weren't here when I said this at SAS last year. Right now in this country, this is a fact, we have never handed out more degrees ever in the history of this country, right? And yet we have never produced kids coming out of university that are so dumb. The IQ level is dropping. That is a fact. That doesn't make—
Based on what evidence? Because we can see that you're dumb, but we just want to know, what are the statistics? What numbers are you using? What poll or research you have to back that up? I mean, we can definitely say one came out dumber than she went in. Candace Amber Owens. Yeah, you're one. Can you give us the evidence on the rest? You claiming that to be a fact. We can say that's a fact about you, Candace.
Makes sense. If people are getting dumber, how is it plausible that we are handing out more degrees? Well, because that is by design. Facts of the matter are, I too also have a degree in journalism. In fact, I have more degrees than Piers Morgan does.
How, Sway?
I have a bachelor's degree in journalism and in English, and he just has one in journalism. Yeah. The truth is that I grew up poor. I was the third of a family with 4 children. My mom didn't even graduate high school, actually. And my family didn't have the money to send me to college. So I took out a ton of loans, student loans, Sally Mae loans. And then don't quote me on the year, but I think it was 2010, Sallie Mae had a big collapse and they said, you can't go back for your senior year because we can no longer fund you to go back for your senior year. So I dropped out temporarily. And then when I had my own money and paid off my student loans, which was something like $150,000 in student loans, which is absurd to me. Such a predatory system. You're literally preying on poor people. Disgusting. That's what USU is all about. Once I paid down my student loans, I re-enrolled to finish my last year. And so I have 2 degrees, actually.
Yeah, that's it, Ticket.
Tell you again, in case you weren't here when I said this at SAS last year. Right now in this country, this is a fact. We have never.
While she's promoting a book about college scam. Y'all see that at the bottom? She was out here promoting a book about college scam, about college being a scam, I guess. You can't, hold on, let me take down the captions right quick. Receive a copy of The College Scam for a gift of any amount. Candace, have you ever donated to anything? This is her out on tour promoting a book called The College Scam, while she goes back and lies about having 2 degrees, 2 bachelor's degrees. Yeah, you can't make this up. You can't make this stuff up.
Handed out more degrees ever in the history of this country.
Pull up the email again.
Right? And yet we have never produced kids coming out of university that are so dumb. The IQ level is dropping. That is a fact. That doesn't make sense. If people are getting dumber, how is it plausible that we are handing out more degrees? Well, because that is by design. The idea is to make a bunch of people that are actually really stupid. Really stupid. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to spend $100,000 on a degree in gender studies? I mean, wow. 4 years.
Well, you know, the same thing can be asked of you, Candace, with journalism in English, something you're not utilizing well. And then you dropped out. So at least they're obtaining their degree and they can show a copy of their degree. You said you spent $150,000, and that's after having dropped out your 3rd year. You didn't even finish. Why were you taking so much student loans out? That's a lot of money to be taking out as student loans. $150,000, and you only got to your 3rd year. Who's the stupid one here?
You're studying something that I learned the first day in kindergarten. That's the boys' bathroom. That's the girls' bathroom. Okay, thanks. Thanks.
She's
but
not funny at all.
imagine that adult, that young adult who went to school for 4 years to be confused about basic facts, who spent plausibly hundreds of thousands of dollars for that meaningless degree, who then goes out into the world and realizes that nobody wants to hire them because who the heck needs a gender studies major for anything? When's the last time you looked at your phone and said, oh crap, I need a gender studies major? It's going to be a tornado out there. We better make sure the gender studies majors are alert. Oh my gosh, my AC broke. Where are the gender studies? Nobody ever in the history of the world has needed a gender studies major. No one. No, it's common sense.
And not at one point did YouTube ever need people to create a channel that had a double bachelor's degree of journalism or English, because anyone can do it. Candace, and if they did, they want someone that completed it, both, and can show proof of it. Why did I have to email your school, girl?
That's not a real degree. The only thing you can do with that degree is probably go right back into the education system that taught you that lie, right? You can become a professor in gender studies, something stupid like that. And so when those people get into the world and they realize that nobody
not
wants
funny
them,
at all.
that this is not a career path, that actually the free markets spits them back out, they become angry and they become bitter, and they don't know who to train that bitterness on.
Train
who can
that
I be
bitterness
angry
on?
at? I did everything right. I listened to my professors. I got A's. I have a degree. Right? This pompous attitude
You
means
can't make
nothing.
this up.
What can you produce? What can you provide in this world? I don't care. I actually would prefer it if you went to a trade school, right? Learn to work with your hands.
And who do they blame? Well, they blame successful people, not the government, not the university system. No, the university system is the only place they can go. And so they become angry at people who found.
This is coming from someone that claims to have 2 bachelor's degrees. Why don't you just show your degrees, Candace, and be proud of it? You're either mad that you paid $150,000 or you're proud that you earned 2 bachelor's degrees. Which is it? You see the spirit of confusion and dumb buffoonery coming through on her. Why not show your degrees? Why not have it hanging on the wall in your studio in the basement of your house? Why would you just not hang it up? Simple questions. Simple questions, Candace. You can't even answer that.
Success. They become angry at those people who didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in school, but can in fact fix an AC in the middle of the summer. People that work with cars, people that work with their hands. They think, how can this idiot be making more money than me? Oh, because the free markets responds to that person that you think is an idiot. Because let me tell you something. Have you ever had your AC break in the summertime in Tennessee? You're paying any amount, buddy. I don't care what he's charging.
I know, right?
Great. $10,000? Okay, we'll find it somewhere, right? Because we actually need these individuals in our society. And so the only thing left for those people to do, because they're so angry, is to march against life, right? Pick any cause and they march against it, right? They're basically letting you know that they have failed.
Because candy asses love to sit here and tell me what they think I know. First of all, you don't watch my channel either because I've already covered this. I knew he was posting up this video. I just didn't watch it because I wanted to watch it with my audience. I wanted to watch it with the Luxers. I've already covered this myself. I actually emailed the school. I don't need to watch all of her podcasts to be able to go on a simple fact-finding mission. If I want to truly know if she got a degree, I just emailed the school. I don't need to listen to Candace to get answers to those types of questions. Why would I? When she lies all the time. She won't even produce evidence of her degrees. Why in the world would I watch more of her podcast to hear her actually just lie more? No, none of this does her justice. All it does is just shows how much more hypocritical she is. So the concept is you should not want me to watch all of her podcasts to find out if she has a degree. You should be thinking outside the box. If the candy asses can just do so and actually emailing the schools, which is exactly what the hell I did. I don't need to get any information from Candace. This girl teaches me nothing. She's not smart. There's nothing she teaches me. Nothing. Everything she says can be challenged. And for what she tries to purport as a fact, she has no evidence to support it. I hope you enjoyed that letter, Candace. DHS and all of that in the building where your attorneys work. Yeah. Ciao, boo. Candy asses really think they come over here. Y'all have no power over here, honey. We just laugh at you.
In life. And so they march against people that are too normal. They march against people that look happy because misery loves company. And I'm telling you, do not give it to them. Do not give them that company.
Oh man, all right. That was Jay Witt, y'all. Shout out to Jay Witt. That was funny. Hey, he had some good montages. I'll give it to him. I will give it to him. So let's go back to here's Candace Owens' video, y'all. The dance at the top of it all. You know, the one where the candy asks the boy to get mad when you don't sit here and worship the ground she walks on as if you owe her that. Nope, we don't. We don't owe her nothing. Let's go to right quick, just to remind you all of the email, because in all that getting, get some understanding. I will not get understanding from Candace Owens. She has none to give. But I will share the email once again that I received from the school, the University of Rhode Island, where I asked, If a degree, confirmation of a degree being awarded to Candace Amber Owens with DOB, let me zoom in. 042989. I only request confirmation of a degree being awarded and not the degree or any other information itself, because I didn't want to violate the laws regarding HIPAA or personal identifiable information that is not available to the public. Because Candace, unlike you, I have integrity, heifer. I have integrity, heifer. Your name, your date of birth, that's public information. I don't need to know your student ID number. I don't need to know your transcript or any of that. If you have a degree, you're the one that should be wanting to put that up and show everybody your degree. It makes me wonder if this guy was paid to say this. I don't know. I'm asking questions. It just makes me wonder. Where there's no other information, Candace doesn't want to actually show off her degrees. And after having asked this question, this is the answer that I got from Jack Humphrey, who is the Senior Associate Director of Registrar Enrollment Services, University of Rhode Island, Green Hall, Kingston, Rhode Island. You all see that information here. Because I said whatever they send me, I will post it up. In journalism, when it comes to presenting facts and information, you shouldn't have feelings involved. I could question whether or not this man may have said this just to say it because of who I'm asking it for. I'm asking about this for Candace Owens. Maybe he knows Candace Owens. Maybe he wants to perpetuate the lie. Maybe he's trolling me. Maybe. I don't know. I'm asking questions. But see, here's the thing. If this person is lying, if John Humphrey is lying, then guess what? That can be debunked by going on the student clearinghouse and then just biting down the bullet and paying $20 to get some sort of verification from that website. So this could be corroborated with that. I just don't feel like paying $20. I don't want to pay $20. Any one of you out there want to go on student clearinghouse and get an actual verification? It'll actually print out and it will tell you the degree she received, the year she graduated, all of that. How many other degrees she received from this same school. It will give you that information. If it turns out to where it's another school that she got the degree from, then that would prove that John Humphrey lied. But see, that's something I can ask questions and just go to another system to have corroborated. But I didn't withhold this. That would be deceptive. I put it out there. This is going back to Tuesday this past week on November 18th. And John Humphrey at uri.edu is the email. If you guys pull up the school website, you look in the enrollment department, you will see John Humphrey as the Senior Associate Director. The Associate Director. I went to the top. So if the top is lying, then he'll just lie. But I'll have corroborating evidence from the student clearinghouse to show that he lied. It wouldn't be in his best interest to do that. He said an individual with that name did receive a bachelor's degree from the University of Rhode Island. I didn't ask for specifics because I didn't want to violate any privacy laws. I just asked for confirmation. I don't need to watch Candace to do this. It's not necessary. He could be a candy ass. Who knows? But here's the thing. I can easily debunk it by going on the student clearinghouse, paying the $20 and get the actual verification. And it'll give me that information. So if I pull that and student clearinghouse says something different, then we could call John Humphrey a liar. Then we'll have both information side by side. And I'm sure the school will not want a liar working there. So he better hope that he's telling me the truth. That's how that goes. Why would I need to watch Candace's videos for this? For what? If she's going to lie, We're just going in circles. You need to watch more of her stuff. No, I don't. I'm not a brainwashed cult member. Nope. When we watch her stuff, we have to watch it together for comfort and for fun. But this is what it says. She's saying she's got 2 degrees. He's saying a degree. I don't believe she wouldn't be able to get a dual bachelor's degree from the University of Rhode Island in journalism or English because the school does not have that type of program. They don't have a dual degree program where you can get 2 bachelor's degree in journalism and English. The entire school does not offer that. So for what she's saying, if she's saying she's got a double bachelor's degree, that would not be true at URI. That would not be true. So she's definitely lying about the number of degrees she has. But yet, if she paid all that money for it, why won't she be proud enough to post up the degrees? Why won't she just show people her degrees? She's a narcissist. Why would she not want to shut people up and just show the degrees if she has them? So let's say we ended up finding information from Clearinghouse and we do a verification. How does John Humphrey, how do you think that will make you look? Telling me she has a degree. How do you think that's going to make you look? I'm just saying. Chabu. It's so crazy. She, we don't need to watch her nonsense to hear her lie. We'll just email the school. Because that's called journalism. That's how it works, Candace, you heifer. Journalism. And you call the school yourself. You kidding me?